Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. Forgot what I was thinking. Okay, for this week's read, the main tarot I'm going to use is Gilded Tarot Royale. Yep. By Chiro Marchetti. Text by Barbara Moore. And I'm going to go ahead and say there is the website on here, even though... There it is. Apparently I'm just completely a little behind. Here, Llewellyn.com, I believe, is there. Feel free to freeze frame and check out any of those other links if you're interested. Supportive Oracle Cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. And the website in the back of this one, rockpoolpublishing.com.au is A as an apple, U as an umbrella. And last but not least, I have new dice, but I don't know where I have them. They're in my house. For this week, I'm going to still use the D&D dice. The 20 I used for the Major Arcana, which does omit 21 and 0. Somebody pointed out, and they're correct. And I used the number 4 dice for the element, and I used the 12-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, which one I'm going to use. Which I have new dice. But my brain does not know where I put them at the moment, even though I put them somewhere safe. I know that much. All right. That's what I got for this week. Let's go on to your reading. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. This reading is valid for whenever you come to it. That being said, what do we have for Leo? Okay. What is going on here? Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. Because I'm gonna already go ahead and say that this is gonna be kind of all over the place for some reason. It feels all over the place already. I keep getting also, the first thing I keep getting is this. You might be walking away from something. Or already detached from it. You might be already detached from it. Yeah, it's still looming around you, still causing some type of issue. And I feel like what they're saying is, even though you've detached from it or walking away from it, it's kind of like this reading is saying, yeah, but be sure you're aware of this, so that way you can apply this information in the most beneficial way for you. It's kind of like, it's better to know than not know. It's one of those things, is what I think we're going towards. Because when I think of Leo, you're either in it and you're in it, or you're like, all right, forget it then. That's all right, I have other things to do. Leo's a doer, gets a lot of things done, keeps moving. Like, I don't feel like you overthink things, not typically. Not typically, the natural, just plain Leo energy. Of course, your charts can have a lot more flavor to them, of course. Most Leos have a lot of flavor, I know that. What are we going for here? So... what is that? 10 of Swords, half in, half out. And then the High Priestess, half in, half out. Whatever this situation is, it just feels like it comes in and out all the time. And by all the time, like every few years maybe? Every few years or every so often, there's an issue. Maybe it's kind of like, I don't really care for that. I don't like what's going on. But I sort it out. I dare to say, when you sort it out, partially to your detriment. And you know that. If this reading is going to hit, you're going to be like, yeah, I know, I kind of screw myself over with that, but I do what I do because I do what I want to do. And if I've decided I'm going to do that, then that's what I'm going to do. It's nobody else's business, it's my business, and I'll do what I want. It's kind of like, yeah, you screw yourself over every now and then with how you solve this issue. It's like almost like pulling somebody out of the fire and burning yourself in the same breath, but it's kind of like that's how I've decided I'm going to do it. Which is totally your business. Okay. And when you get involved, it's kind of like, sometimes maybe it's kind of like I fixed it before I realized what I was doing, and then I fixed it, and I'm like, well, I fixed it. And then it's like, well, then I don't want to think about it. This is a rough situation, whatever it is we're dealing with. A little bit of a like constantly squirrely energy too. Constantly squirrely. Okay. I don't. I see the squirrel up here, right there. I don't know if you can see it. And I see the Knight of Pentacles. It's kind of like it's constantly all over the place. Whatever this is, it's constantly a little bit nuts. It's been like this for a longest time. Leo doesn't usually have a problem with squirrely energy, if you follow me, but it's the way it is. It's kind of like if it's a squirrely energy and it's constantly a problem, that's not really something you'd be a fan of, you know? Where is this going? It makes me like really nervous because I feel like, again, we're having a problem with this energy. And it's an energy that I feel like I kind of like, I kind of don't. Another problem popping up, like it always does. And I feel like you're going to start fixing it before you know it if you're not careful. For some reason, it's just kind of like, well, it's like walking into your house and it's already a mess. It's like, well, this is unacceptable, and I just start fixing it. Meanwhile, I'm not really addressing like why or who. I'm just like, this is unacceptable, I just got to fix it. So I just start fixing it. But the why and who is really important here. And it's kind of like this doesn't happen all the time. It's just every once in a while this happens where the whole house is a mess, and I'm ticked off when I see it, and I just start fixing it. I'm just like, nope, not having that, and I just start fixing it. There needs to be accountability here for somebody. Because there's something here is just like somebody not correcting what they're doing. Now, it's ironic, but they're saying, we don't need to fight about this. It's not about that. Because Leo is not afraid usually to confront somebody. Usually. Not always, but usually. In whatever terms you feel necessary. So what are we... Okay, so something is happening here. 8 of Cups reversed. That's the lack of moving on. And then the Devil card, half in, half out. Okay. Somebody's just like, they're used to getting away with something. And they're expecting to get away with something. That's why it's not worth fighting. Because it's like they're expecting you to have an issue with it. It's almost like it's a setup. So, I feel like it's time to rewrite the story. So if you were an author, the story always hits the same problem, always hits the same problem, always hits the same problem. It's time to start a whole new story. It's kind of like, all right, I'm done with that series. It's time to start a whole new story. All right, so... I feel like I'm going to, like, it's time to, like, remove somebody from your social circle. In a positive way. I'm not saying do anything wrong. I'm not saying do anything illegal, that's for sure. Because Leo is strong. I know y'all are strong, but, like, it's time to rewrite this story. Whatever's going on here, I feel like, for whatever reason, maybe this is somebody you work with, I feel like I need to cut ties or make it very obvious, like, we're done. I'm not dealing with you anymore. I don't care what your problem is. Don't come to me to fix it. I feel like it's one of those things. For some of you, maybe it's time to go to another job. If this is a relationship, if it's a friendship especially, it's kind of like time to give public notice. Like, I'm sick of your problems. I'm sick of your issues. Don't call me to fix it. And don't come to stay at my house again, because you're not staying at my house again. We're done. The friendship has ended. It could be a romantic relationship. It could be that level. Because whatever this is, somebody is setting this up to get what they want from you, and they're purposely doing this, is what I'm getting. Which, like, Leo's referred to as the lion, not for nothing. Like, if you saw a lion in the wild, would you tease that lion? Not anybody with any sanity, in my opinion. Because that lion will destroy you, or make you wish they did, one of the two. Like, you don't mess with the lion. Like, that's a fool. Why would you do that? Like, if you think of it if you think of, like, you see a lion in front of you, you leave it alone. Try to make friends with it. You don't make it an enemy, if you have any sense in your life. But it's almost like this person thinks they can get the lion riled up and then sick it on other people. That's not how this is going to work. The conflict isn't worth it. They're saying end this, block this, walk away from this. What's this last one? Acceptance? Yeah. Accept it for what it is. See it for what it is. It's not fixable. I said this in another reading today. I don't remember which one it was. One of the channel readings. I don't remember which one it was, but it's realizing it's not fixable. It's just flat out not fixable. And the more you participate in it, the more it just drags you down. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to drag you down. Accepting it for that, blocking it, and stepping away from it, they're saying that's what this is time for, which is kind of like, you've been doing that in pieces, or like, it's kind of like I haven't completely walked away. It's kind of like if this was a house that constantly had problems, I fix it and I forget it. I fix it and I forget it. There's always problems or people, there's always messes, there's always issues, but I just fix it and keep going along with it. They're like, sell the house. Sell the house. Whatever the problem is, it's kind of like there's always problems with this house. Sell the house. It's time to sell the house. It's accepting that it's time to sell the house. Whatever analogy works for you. I feel bad doing this one, but if it's a relationship, it's just a matter of time before there's another big problem, and you're stop fixing it. Move on to somebody else. Say, you know what? We're done. Bye. Fix your own life and go live your own. Find somebody else. I hate using an analogy, but it's either going to hit or it's not if that's for you. If it's the relationship, you know it is. If it doesn't, you're like, maybe. If it's a maybe, it's probably not. By letting this go and facing it head on like that, it is a little difficult, but there's something else waiting for you to come in. There's going to be some ill feelings. You're going to be upset with it. You're going to need to kind of sort out those feelings and go through the whole emotional baggage thing. You're going to have some time to deconstruct this. It's going to be painful to look back and realize how long you kept it afloat. I do feel like that's going to be painful. Kind of like I kept this going for the longest time, and why? And why did I do that? It's hard for you to go out that door for some reason, for whatever reason. And it's hard to really completely let go. It's going to take some time to deconstruct it, is what I keep getting. There's other positive things waiting to come into your life. Whatever's walking away, something else wants to come in. Something very positive. You got the Ace of Cups coming in here. You got the Empress. Something more balanced. Something more giving. The Empress, though, is like... The Empress, if the Empress is in balance, which I feel like this one is, this feels very balanced to me. The Empress is very giving, but not just giving. They expect to be taken care of in return. So it's like a good ebb and flow of like give and take, give and take, give and take. Very giving, but also expecting some, there's give and take here. If that doesn't happen, they're not going to put up with it. This is somebody who we would get along with this very well. You would fit in very well. So there's a very positive energy waiting to come in, but this is what I'm also seeing. This whatever the situation is that you need to walk away from, which hopefully you do if this is as toxic as it seems, it's one of those things where you have to go through the process, you have to sort it out, you have to work through that energy. You have to unearth a lot of the problems and go through it and figure it out and feel it out. It's going to be hard for you to go into their new situation and not feel like, well, how long before this one screws me over? It's an energy you might be dragging forward with you. Be careful of it. If you're feeling that way, they're saying the best way to do it is probably through a therapist. I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna, British author. If you see any of his titles that stick out to you, knock your socks off. That's what I personally do for this type of stuff. You got to release that energy from the past to embrace and enjoy and have the success of the future. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, the damage from the past, that baggage from the past, could damage the joy that you could have in the future. Keep that in mind. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.